It's Food O'Clock on Real Ale Craft Beer. Today we're going to be taking a look at some Greggs vegan steak bakes that are exclusively frozen in Iceland. So you can pick them up in your local Iceland. As soon as I went into my local Iceland, they were on the left hand side. As soon as you go in, they got a special Greggs freezer. I think it's a really good idea. Last year, I mentioned this on the Greggs vegan Iceland sausage roll review. Last year, all the Greggs were closed in 2020, and the only way you could get a Greggs pasty or a slice or a sausage roll was from Iceland. You could buy them frozen. So I just thought, what a great idea. What a fabulous idea to put these in to the Greggs stores as a vegan product for Veganuary. Here's my tray. Whack it on, stick it in the oven. Okay, so here we have the Greggs vegan steak bake. This was launched 2020, January 2020, as a follow-up to the very successful vegan sausage roll from Greggs. The vegan steak bake was just as popular. People are intrigued to see if they taste the same. This is the Iceland bake at home version. I really like the fact that you can cook these from the freezer fresh for your family, and you've got fresh, lovely kind of vegan steak bakes. You can serve it up with some beans and some mash or something like that. There's a look at it. Let's give it a bit of a squeeze. See, yeah, it's a what's inside here? It's a corn and bit of gravy in there. As always, this is a boiling hot, piping hot food review. I always eat the food as soon as it comes out the oven. I just can't help myself. Here we go. This could be painful. Pastry, lovely and crispy. I always put my food in for a little bit longer than what is suggested on the packet. Number one, because my oven's not great. And number two, I like the fact that the food is a little bit crispy, a little bit more done than what they suggest. So far, just a little bit of pastry there. The pastry's quite salty. I'm going to go in and there we go. There we go. So that's Iceland / Greggs's look or version of what steak. It's not really steak, is it? It's corn. But they're trying to get it to taste like steak. This bit's going to be really hot. Here we go. Woo! Whoa! Whoa! Ooh, blimey! Oof, that was hot. It seems to be a little bit. Now we got a real big kind of steaky bit here. There we go. It seems to be a little bit different from what I remember when they launched these last year. Maybe they've altered the recipe a little bit. Oh no. No, that is really good. That is really good. That is a really good representation of a steakless vegan steak bake. And as I said in the vegan sausage roll review, there's no worries here if you're going to chomp on a bit of gristly steak. How many times have you bought a Greggs steak bake in your lifetime and you've had a little bit of gristly steak which you're like, oof, oh, I don't like the feel of this in my mouth. I'm terrible for it. And it'll put me off the whole thing, eating the rest of the thing. I've got a little bit better as I've got older. I used to just throw it in the bin if I had any kind of fat or anything in it. But I try my best to finish it now. But you haven't got any of them worries with a vegan steak bake. Because there's no meat in it. There's no gristle. It's all corn. And it's really, really tasty. The consistency, not as tough as a piece of steak, I'll admit that. But in terms of the flavour of the gravy, the spices, the herbs, the flavours, it's so close, especially with that kind of Greggs signature pastry. It's such a close thing. Really good. The signature fluffy, flaky pastry from Greggs. Oh, that bit was warm. I would much prefer this. I said with the vegan sausage roll, I prefer the vegan sausage roll. But I would absolutely 100% by a country mile, prefer a vegan steak bake over the regular steak bake. And that's because, as I mentioned earlier, any gristle in a real steak bake and the steak bake's done. I can't eat it. That is really good. Again, I'll mention, I do this I eat vegan food because I'm intrigued by it. A little bit of a balanced diet as well. I don't do it for the ethical reasons, don't eat a cow or don't eat a pig. I don't do it for them reasons because we've been eating meat for many thousands of years. I do it as part of a healthy, balanced diet, and I'm intrigued because these people are getting really close. Really, really close. I had a Domino's pizza last week as part of Veganuary. And the corn pieces or the soya pieces on top of that pizza were fantastic. They were absolutely fantastic. The pizza was really lovely. The vegan cheese was good. It was creamy and lovely. And I think they're getting closer and closer and closer to kind of matching the consistency and the flavours of a real meat pizza, or in this case a real steak bake. And it's a very intriguing prospect as we're moving forward through the ages. You know, will there be a time in 100 years' time where people are watching old YouTube videos of people eating meat and go, oh my goodness me, what a terrible thing to do? You know, will that happen in the future? let me know in the comments box below. I think there'll always be a place for a juicy steak or a... Bacon's the biggest thing, I think. Bacon. I don't think I could live without bacon. The bacon's nowhere near as good as real bacon, the vegan bacon. Maybe they can work on that a little bit. Right, the vegan steak bake from Iceland and Greggs. I like that. I really like that. That for me is spot on. It's a 10 out of 10. 10 out of 10 from Real Ale Craft Beer. Please put your comments in the comments box. Subscribe to our daily beer and food reviews. Give us a big fat thumbs up. Boom! Cheers!